Have a butcher's of this. Let's get closer.
Jack it, lift it, release, see ya. That's my apprentice.
You liking the rims, mate?
So let's check out this sorry state of a wheel. I'm not sure if this was part of the accident, or maybe the previous owner was a bit cozy with the curbs. All four wheels look like this as well. This is not acceptable, but I shall put it right. Alright? Anyway, I thought I'd start with the worst wheel. This one's got some plastic trapped under the tyre. No biggie though, as it needs replacing. But for now, I need access to that leading edge of the rim. It took a fair bit of time, but eventually, most of it was removed. Now next up, the Dremel with a wire wheel attachment. I'm using this to get rid of any dirt or loose paint within them rough parts. A quick wipe down with some IPA solvent means it's ready for filler. But before that...
Right, so the idea here is I want to recreate this profile straight and ridge up and down, so then I can use it as like a guide when I'm applying filler, making sure that this level is perfect all the way around. That's the theory anyway, so let's give it a go.
Now there's no exact science to this. This is just my workaround. But now I've cut that out, you can see this matches the profile of the wheel perfectly.
So the idea is to put a bit of filler on there, run this around, it'll be consistent. But what I'm going to actually do is make it out of a bit of plastic, because after a while when cardboard gets wet it starts deforming. So if I copy that onto this, and then I'll have my piece, I can use that for all four wheels.
So we slap on a bit of masking tape, trace around the shape, is easy. And away we go. Trim that out in no time.
So, here's the profile I've got.
You see it?
I'm stuck in a loop.
Now I decided to mask the wheel off, as filler can get very messy. I don't want to waste time having to sand it off places it didn't need to be in the first place. That's planning.
Baby, I'm calling for you.
This time I'm using metal filler. It's a bit more robust for this application.
Look at the consistency of that. Different.
Same mixing procedure though.
And I'm stuck in a loop.
2 parts, then a chemical reaction occurs, and then a drying process commences.
I use this to stop the filler getting onto the tyre. And yeah, let's crack on.
Sorry I obscured a bit of this, but I'm applying the filler and then dragging the tool I made around the edge. Slowly, slowly. You can see that process a bit better here. You gotta move fast because the filler goes off in about 20 minutes. Now it's time to knock all of that back with a trusty drill and the sanding attachment. This will get rid of the bulk, but there's way more to be done by hand.
Look at that, levelled off nicely. All that curb rash gone. Lovely.
It's good progress so far. And you've seen me do this before. It's long, boring work, but I'm not in a position to just send these off for refurbishing. In the future, maybe. But for now, we crack on. So with the lower grit sandpaper, I'm basically shaping it so everything is consistent. After that, we can go again with some paper that's not as rough to smoothing it out. Check it out.
Time to step it down. 240 grit.
240 grit if you didn't see. And more of the same. That drill is saving me a lot of time and effort. Refining by hand again.
Now it's time for some wet and dry. Getting all the little gaps and get them sorted.
So using the wet and dry gets it smoother still and almost ready for priming. So tell me, you think you give this a go? Time to rinse off all that dust. Imagine if we didn't. When it comes spraying time, all those bits of dust would appear in the paint. Not good. And we don't want that. Time for more masking. It takes a lot longer than you think as well. The thing is though, if you take your time here, it saves you on clean up afterwards. No brainer. Now I can go ahead and prime these edges. And I used a bit of card to prevent the paint hitting the tyre. It's a case of building up the layers and then seeing what we're left with. It's looking good, bruv. Back at it with the sandpaper. And I feel like I'm being watched. Oh. Now it's inevitable bits will be missed, so that's why we did the process again. You can understand how decent body shops charge a premium. It's a lot of labour involved. Now this is a Scotch pad. It's like sandpaper but on a sponge. Lets you get at all those curves. Better than what the paper can. Now it's time to pop out the centre cap because we don't want to ruin it. And then the whole thing can be scotched. The reason for this is to create a key and it will allow the paint to bind to the surface. If you didn't do this, the paint would flake off pretty quickly. We don't want that. Now it's time to mask the inner part of the wheel. I use some birthday wrapping paper because why not? And then it's time to mask off the tyre, pushing the tape deep within the rim seat. Time lapse to the rescue. Come on. And a quick clean leaves us ready. Ready for that one last prime before the top coat.
Getting there. Got to put some primer on there now. It's looking good.
Last little sanding of some minor bits. And then here we go. Top coat. Let's build up them layers. It's starting to look like new. And then once that's dry, it's time for the clear coat. I used a matte finish here, but I wasn't happy with the texture at the end, so it was redone with satin. Same process though, build up your layers. What do you reckon? It's looking good, isn't it? Ah, yeah. Now the final finish is like a shadow chrome, but you'll have to wait until the car's complete before you see them in their glory though. All the more reason to like, share, comment and subscribe. I'll be seeing you next time, guys. Bless up.